Hello and welcome to Clown Show 24. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Andrew Laurance's video, The Most Hated Man in Britain. Now, the most hated man in Britain as it stands is Keir Starmer. And as you can see, there has been a petition put forward. This was put forward and circulated by a pub landlord, and it has currently got over 2 million signatures. I myself have signed this petition. I was happy to do so. Um, because I would obviously like to oust the current government, the Labour Party and Keir Starmer. Now, 2 million votes is great. It's good, but it's not enough. We will need around, I would suggest, 5 times as many votes, as many signatures as this. I think we need to get around 10 million to have a serious chance of a general election being called and a vote of no confidence in the Labour government. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Andrew Laurance video, and I may interject in certain points just to put my point forward regarding some of the issues that he raises in this video. So, here we go.
A parliamentary petition started by a pub owner demanding a general election has attracted 2 million signatures in the space of a few days. The petition is due to run for 6 months, after which time presumably most of the country will have signed it.
So this petition, I think, it's going to its closing date is the 25th of May, I think. So there's still plenty of time for these numbers to increase. Like I say, if you haven't signed it already, I would encourage you to do so. If you do not want this country going down the pan any further than it already has done.
That's if Starmer hasn't shut the internet down by then, or Putin hasn't obliterated this wretched country with a nuclear weapon.
The decisions that the country has made on the public's behalf has been detrimental to the public. Sending Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine is not going to help the British public. It is not beneficial for anyone, especially the Ukrainians. To continue the war in Ukraine is nothing but disaster. It can only end in World War III. The more we escalate the conflict in Ukraine, it's a disaster zone. Hopefully, now Donald Trump is in charge of the United States, diplomacy will start taking place, and Putin and Trump can speak to each other mano a mano, or however that phrase goes.
This petition is going to achieve precisely bugger all, of course, but it's incredibly humiliating for a Prime Minister who's been in office for less than 5 months to have achieved such an enormous level of public disapproval.
Yeah, so the public disapproval's not only coming from conservatives and right of centre um, voters, it is also coming from the Labour Party. Because I have lots of friends that are Labour supporters. I accept them for who they are, and I understand that they are wrong in their support for Labour. However, not one of them can point a finger at anything good that Keir Starmer has done at the beginning of his um, prime ministership. He has not done anything, and no Labour supporter can point to anything that he's done that will benefit them and their family.
Oh, not that Starmer will care. As we're all aware by now, Starmer doesn't give a toss about this country. He's too busy grovelling before his globalist paymasters.
I would say this: Keir Starmer doesn't believe in the borders, the sovereignty of this country. He sees it as um, like a Pangea. We live in a Pangea, a joined continent where we're all one and we're all in love with each other and we're all holding hands and picking daisies and strolling through meadows in this ideological utopian belief system that he believes in, which is essentially socialism and communism. We're going down the socialist communist route, where we're relieving farmers of the land that they farm. There's so many things that we have done to this country to destroy it over the past 20 years since the last Labour government with Tony Blair in charge. We have destroyed the country. We have sold the crown jewels.
Just last week, he was spouting off about his partnership with BlackRock. That's the same BlackRock that owns every company currently profiting from the war in Ukraine. Pretty soon, BlackRock's going to own all of Britain's farmland, I expect, and then shortly after that, they're going to own you and me. I mean, I follow the general election campaign fairly closely, and I'm pretty sure I don't remember the bit where Starmer promised to sell us all into serfdom. You may have noticed your bills for everything going up and up and up. You may have noticed your tax burden expanding by an ever alarming rate.
So Keir Starmer, when he got into power, um, the first thing he did was choose to freeze grannies in their homes by taking their winter fuel allowance from them. This is going to save, apparently, according to the figures, it's going to save the government around £2 billion a year. So currently, we are spending over £18 billion a year housing, feeding, and clothing, and giving technology iPhones and free travel to immigrants who do not, illegal immigrants that do not belong in this country. They do not belong here, and yet the taxpayer is having to pay for the lifestyles of these illegal immigrants. It's beyond words.
Everything you own, every asset you have, every penny you've got in the bank is being stripped from you. The first to lose their land will be the farmers, then with food.
The farmers, the inheritance tax, the tax on everything that's already been taxed in your life. There is not a day, not a moment you do not draw breath without taking or without paying tax in this country. The tax burden on the public is outrageous, and this is all so Keir Starmer can pay for his pals in the civil service, his pals in the public sector as a whole. Um, what pays for the public sector? If it wasn't for the private sector, the public sector would not exist. Without the taxes that the private sector pays, the public sector could not exist. Without these farmers, without the plumbers, electricians, bricklayers, without the entrepreneurship and business acumen of private companies and entrepreneurs, this country would not run. But yet, these are the people that Keir Starmer and his party and the socialists are hitting the hardest.
Production under state control, of course, the one world government can do whatever they like to us because we'll all be too hungry to complain. But don't worry, because Starmer's legalising assisted dying so that when things get real.
So yeah, um, make everyone really poor, make everyone really depressed, freezing pensioners, increase taxes. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what will put everyone out of their misery: assisted suicide. Assisted, yeah, brilliant. It is genius. Honestly, I couldn't. If I was an evil dictator, hell bent on destroying a country and a nation, these are the policies that I would put in place. Um, yeah, assisted suicide. A referendum on assisted suicide takes the biscuit. It really does. It's a joke beyond belief.
Really bad in this new world he and his pals are creating for us. We can always top ourselves, whereupon we'll all be turned into Soylent Green to feed the subjugated masses. What could be better than that? That's something to look forward to, isn't it? We can petition all we like, there's no chance of a general election, and even if they gave us one, all we'd have to choose from are 5 or 6 different flavours of WEF shill.
We've always had the douchebag or the turd sandwich to vote from, and they are essentially the same uni party. It's the same people making the same decisions again and again. Um, it's beyond belief. Um,
And the BBC keep peddling the pretence that we're living in a liberal democracy. If this is the damage Starmer can do in just 4.5 months, imagine what sort of state the country will be in by 2029.
we have a dictatorship disguised as a democracy. It is not a democracy. We do not have freedom of speech. Without freedom of speech, there is no such thing as democracy. It does not exist without freedom of speech.
I say country, but by then, of course, it'll be little more than an enormous burning trash pile floating in the ocean. Everyone with the means to do so will have long since departed, and anyone left will be taking a running, screaming jump off the nearest cliff. Live stand up dates now on sale. Southampton on the 19th of December, where I'll be joined by top level stand up Nicholas
Yeah, what I would advise you do, go get yourself along to Andrew Laurance's stand up. If you've got NicholasDeSanto there as well in Southampton, I'm not sure if he's at any of his other gigs, but NicholasDeSanto, fantastic comedian as well. I recommend watching both Andrew Laurance and NicholasDeSanto's material. Really good stuff. If you are in the area, get yourself down. You will have a fantastic night and it will be hilarious.
Santo, 19th of January in London, only a handful of tickets left. 1st of February in Bromley, early bird tickets only £12.50 if you can get in quick. Only 40% of people who watch my YouTube videos are channel subscribers.
So you could like and subscribe to Andrew Laurance. Also, I would suggest you do the same with NicholasDeSanto, and you can also do the same for me as well, Clown Show 24. So, yeah, I think I'll play the rest of it because he's probably got a couple more dates. Or,
So
no, I
please
don't
do
think he's
click
got any
that
more
subscribe
dates.
button.
So yeah, unfortunately, like I was saying, in regards to the petition, I don't think it's going to get anywhere until it gets at least 10 million votes. Or sorry, signatures. Now, I hate to end it on such a depressing note, but what I am doing, and like I would like a lot of you to do, is I'd like you to speak up, um, put your opinions forward. You might not agree with me, I might not agree with you, But one thing that we need to stand together and unite behind is freedom of speech, being able to vocalize opinions that do not necessarily follow the mainstream view. Make sure that you are speaking up for yourself and what you believe in. This is Clown Show 24. Like and subscribe, and I will try and put some more content out for you. I am a little bit lackadaisical. I'm a little bit away with the fairies sometimes, so I kind of find it difficult to update on a regular basis. But like I say, just bear with me, like and subscribe, and I will pop up every now and again. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the future.